What's up, Brad? Happy New Year to you. Are we going to update the tier list every update? I mean, we'll do them every so often. I don't know if it'll be every update, but they need to be done pretty regularly. All right. I'm glad the tier list helped. I have a support one that'll come out today after this. I just need to finish editing it and upload it. So we're going to keep doing those. People seem to like them. You're getting reported for playing Death Prophet support? Well, it sounds about right. Let's see. Where are replays? All right. I think we are set to go. Let's see. Where is the last? The last replay review was, what is today? The 2nd. The last one was on the 26th. Thoughts on Ricky safe lane? It seems to be trending upwards. People seem to like it. I've seen a decent amount of people, pros, playing it, and it looks pretty good in the right game. He's I think one of the biggest things about Ricky right now is that he's got really high armor. Like they changed this hero. They gave him a ton of armor and base regen, and then they completely changed his kit and gave him a bunch of base attack damage. So now he's actually like really strong in the lane. He's got 320 movement speed, he's got 4 base regen, he's got 6 base armor, and he has like 60 base damage, which is insane. So yeah, I think the hero is just generally pretty overpowered. Jenkins had a family emergency, so I'm going to be doing replay review today. And then he might join later, but he's currently dealing with some stuff. Nothing bad, but he just had to do something with his dad today. Lich is your favorite support hero. It's a good hero. Good support hero. Alright, so our first replay, we've got 2 from Hawkillionaire. He says, what more can I do? I'm going to look at both of them. We've got an Abaddon support, and we've got a Snapfire support. Both of them losses. Let's watch the Snapfire one, because Abaddon is just not a good hero right now to play as a position 5. So that's the number one thing, Mr. Hawkillionaire, is just don't play Abaddon 5 anymore. It's not good. Just not good. Alright. What do I have to donate for you to put a shoe on your head? I don't have a shoe with me. I have a moccasin that I will put on my head for free. Because it's comfortable.
Your turn to ban.
It is in the bag.
Prepare for battle.
Alright. We're playing position 5 Snapfire.
This one is in the bag.
And we're going to be against a Darkseer at Nyx Assassin lane. I think right off the bat, I don't really agree with your starting items for this lane. I do think that the Blightstone with Snapfire is good in most lanes. I don't think that this is one of them because, number one, Darkseer doesn't really play the lane, so you're not really going to be able to harass him very much. Number two, I guess it's going to be Ogre. But either way, Ogre and Nyx Assassin both have high armor and high base regen, so you're not really going to be able to harass them either. So it's kind of just not worth it to try and harass people that don't really care about being harassed because they're just not there or they regen through it. And so I think that's one of those scenarios where it's like maybe a 1 in 20 game where you just don't want to do the standard build on this hero. And you're probably better off going for like a try and kill them, maybe drain their mana with Fire Snap and Anti-Mage and slow people. I think just in general, this isn't like a great lane for you to play Snapfire in because you can't really take advantage of the fact that you're wanting to trade with people. I'm sure, I mean, you're going to get a kill here, you get first blood. But I would guess that you're probably going to find yourself not being as useful as you would like. Just because this lane is one where they just don't really care. Or you can kill them multiple times. Okay, and then you go... Okay, so you're actually playing 4 Snapfire. But you just wanted first blood. I see. Okay, well, if that's the case... this makes a bit more sense. I definitely think... Let's see, what did you buy with your initial gold? Boots and more tangos. I don't think that you need to buy more tangos right now. I know that Jenkins and I talk about preemptively buying regen all the time. But you have 3 tangos, and you're already winning the regen battle because this guy started with Headdress Ring of Regen for some reason. So I don't think that you need to buy more tangos right now. And I think that you're better off getting something like a Basilius in this lane against 2 heroes that burn mana constantly, and you have a spamming hero who would like to have some extra mana regen to be able to spam with. I think that you should buy some more mangoes probably. Maybe like a Bassi and some mangoes so you can continue to use your spells even if you get mana drained. Going for a kill there, nice. But now you're out of mana and you can't do anything other than pull for the next minute and a half until your courier gets back at you. So you send out 4 more mangoes. Again, I think that just having a Bassi is really good. You can see that this guy's going for Greaves, so you don't have anybody to build. I guess this guy could go Veil, but most Zeuses don't because they just rush Ags. But you could ask him, hey, are you going Veil? Because if not, then getting a Veil yourself is probably decent. Just for the Bassi in the laning stage and the fact that you have lots of magic damage. But yeah, I mean, we've watched a lot of your replays at this point, and we know that you have good laning mechanics, so I'm not surprised that you're kind of owning here. I would imagine that your problems will start actually about now, because this TA is murdering the Zeus. So I kind of feel like maybe when you hit level 4, you should take a point in Scatterblast and then go gank the Zeus. Okay, so you take the point in Scatterblast. But I don't really think that there's any point in staying down here with this Necro, because you've gotten him a couple of levels, and if he doesn't have Ghost Shroud, then he's a moron. And there's nothing you can really do about that. I don't think it's your responsibility to make sure this guy has a wonderful game, because he doesn't really matter. He's just kind of a tank. I think your most important heroes are your Zeus and your Anti-Mage in this game. And this guy is getting destroyed mid. So, like, right now, you really wish you had a TP to stop this from happening and maybe turn it around. This TA is definitely just going to carry them, because TA comes online much earlier than Anti-Mage. So here's really one important way of thinking about the game, is that you have these various phases, right? You've got laning stage, then you sort of have like laning stage breaks down like early to mid game, then you have the mid game, and then you have the late game. And if you look at their lineup, they have a super late game hero. This hero is not going to contribute anything until like 30 minutes plus. You also have a late game hero who's going to contribute something a little bit faster than the Medusa, but not for a while. And then you have mid game, which is very heavily, I would say, in their favor now because of this TA. TA is definitely like a mid game focused hero. They have Nyx Assassin to enable the TA. They have Ogre to enable the TA. And Darkseer is a pretty good mid game hero as well. On your side, you have a Zeus, and you have Necro, Venge, and you to kind of like play that mid game. But at the moment, there's like a big discrepancy between your sort of mid game powerhouse in the Zeus and their mid game powerhouse in the TA. And I would guess that this TA is just going to carry them because she's not being harassed at all. So like, what I'm trying to say is, I think at some point you need to just decide, all right, we've kind of owned this Medusa enough, and we also sort of have a counter to Medusa already in Anti-Mage. So do we really need to spend this many resources killing a hero that we already counter in our draft? And the answer is no. You need to kill the hero that's going to allow them to win the game, which is actually their mid-game timing. And if we look at this game, you ended up losing it in 22 minutes because their TA was 17-0-5. Now, of course, the TA was also like 1,500 to like 2,000 MMR higher than the Zeus, but that's even more reason to focus on shutting down this high MMR player. Like, if you know that somebody's a Smurf, if you know that somebody is a high skill player or higher skill player than your core in the lane, then it's definitely worth it to make their game worse, because if you can make them play like a, you know, an ancient player instead of a divine player, then you're giving yourself a better chance just by like harassing them a bunch. So yeah, basically what I'm seeing right now is that you're just focusing a lot on winning a lane that's already won. Meanwhile, there's other places on the map that could definitely use some assistance. And it's probably not top because this lane is really not pressuring your anti-mage. And it's... Alright, your Necrophos is tilting, I guess. But yeah, it's basically just this TA that's an issue. And it seems to be like... You're just too committed to winning your lane. It's 10 minutes in. Okay, so about 11 minutes in is the first time that you leave the bottom lane. And you have the ability to kill this TA. Like, you have Invis reveal in the Zeus, and you have Little Shredder to get rid of Refraction. So I feel like you could have just gone mid and killed TA several times during the laning stage. They don't really have any counterplay. Like, what are they going to do? TP in Ogre, TP in Nyx? Okay, cool, your anti-mage is free farming. So are you going to TP in Darks here? Who cares, you know? So it's all about prioritizing stuff and who you're supposed to prioritize in every given game. Alright. Arboreal Phoenix. Yet another Phoenix replay. The Phoenix God, the master of Phoenix mechanics. Tough game, looks like. Your lineup is pretty suspect, I will say. Right off the bat, looks pretty suspect to me. Not a huge fan of this combination of heroes. But we'll see how she goes. And Arboreal Phoenix says, played position 5 Phoenix, started the game with Slark pre-muted. Let's see. I didn't realize this until about 10-minute mark, which is why I didn't go back to help him in lane. I asked if he was fine, got no reply. I tried to ask for the mid lane or make rotations, but TA was persistent on wanting the lane to farm in the nearby jungle. TA and Slark were arguing all game. I wanted to mute him, but he's only my core trying to call shots. Mute him anyway. I want to know if my item build was too greedy or what other rotations / laning mechanics, possible wars, or other things I could have done. Also, I don't know if that's too much to ask, but you take a look at one of my games where I played Phoenix mid and won. Possibly at some other point, but probably not today.
This one's in the bag.
It's an open secret.
Okay. But anyway, you're playing position 5 Phoenix, you have a Slark in lane, you're up against a Mars Pugna. Yikes. And then you have a Wraith King Snapfire against 2 melee heroes and a Monkey King against TA. This, just right off the bat, looks like a very difficult game to win. All of your lanes look like they're just going to get smashed.
30 seconds to battle.
You go 2 salves, Tango, 2 Iron Branches, 1 Mango. So here's one interesting thing that I looked at a bunch of games by Insania, the support and captain of Team Liquid, and he's been going like 2 Tangos and 6 Mangoes recently. And the reason he goes 6 Mangoes is that it brings basically every single hero's HP regen up to like 5 or 6, which is like half a Tango almost going at all times. Or it's like almost a full Tango at all times. And so that is pretty good. And I think that your hero goes through a lot of mana, especially in the laning stage, because you're using Fire Spirit to trade and stuff like that. But it's just something to consider. Obviously, use your HP too, so having multiple salves is good. You know, also give it to this guy who didn't bring enough regen into the lane. Surprise, surprise. Carry players are all garbage. Every carry player in the entire game does this shit, and it's really bad. I mean, if this guy brings out more regen immediately, then it's okay, but chances are he's not. So generally a pretty tough lane. I think that you're doing the right thing in trading out the Pugna, because he's sort of like the main problem of shoving the wave into your Slark's face, which makes it so he can't really trade with Mars very effectively. So I definitely think you want to outtrade the Pugna, and then your Slark can just deal with the Mars. Looks like you're gonna go stack, which is also good. Perfect. Getting aggressive on the Pugna. I'm gonna get your Slark a kill. Excellent. That looks great to me. Gonna get the next pull. Salve your Slark. Still very well played lane so far. Then I assume we'll pull the next lane as well. We're gonna deward that camp. Good stuff. I definitely want you to be pulling this again. Unless we can catch this pull. Nope. Catch this pull. Do a little bit of it. I mean, you could just stack and pull this again, and that's a bit safer. It's like an unnecessary death. So, I mean, that death didn't need to happen, first of all. You could have salved earlier. You also could have just been playing over here away from them. But at the end of the day, it's not the worst thing in the world. Going top, I don't think I like this. Your Slark is still 2 levels away from level 4. And this guy needs to get to level 6 before you can really abandon him. So this looks to me like potentially the big issue here. Because now all of a sudden your Slark can't play Dota. And your Slark is your carry. And your Slark is good against all of their heroes pretty much. So if this guy has no game, then you are putting yourself in a pretty rough situation. So, I mean, yes, you're getting stuff done. You go top, you go mid, you get kills. But is Ricky going to carry you? Is Clockwork going to carry you? No. Is TA going to carry you? She could. I think that this rotation is better than the top one. But the big issue is that Slark is literally just doing nothing. It's not about asking if they need help, it's knowing. Like, you should just know that this guy, if this guy is level 6, no problem. This is fine. This guy is not level 6, you need to make sure that he gets close to it. Or all the way there before you leave. Still not the end of the world. He's farming alright, but he did have the potential to snowball this lane, because I don't think that this Mars should be able to bully him. I think that Slark should be able to bully the Mars, because it's the strength hero against the Slark. Like, this guy could be level 6, this guy could be level 4. So we're top again. Also, if you're going to go top, definitely make sure that you leave your bottom guy a ward. Either like ward here, give him a ward in lane, something like that. So right now this guy has no idea where anybody is. And that's not so great. It also feels like you spent a lot of time getting no experience, which on your hero is unfortunate, because your hero is like entirely reliant on experience. I feel like you've been level 4 for like 2 minutes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Hopefully we get the tome. No tome? Tome? Anybody tome? Tome goes to Clockwork. That's pretty game losing. Not having level 6 on your Phoenix at 10 minutes. Slark just farming the jungle.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Your team just randomly diving their shrine. Alright, so here's the thing about the game as I see it currently, based on my own games, based on watching a lot of pro teams play, a lot of pro players play their pubs, is that this tower is really important. This tower is really important because they both access this shrine. And if you don't have these, then you don't even have, or this outpost, you don't even have a shrine to TP to. However, this part of the map, because there are no shrines anymore, is much easier to own than this part of the map. So if you want to own somewhere and make it safe for your team to farm, you should probably ward here, and you should ward here or here, and take these two towers, and then your team can play like over here. Or you can take this area and you can ward up their shrine and not let them play on their shrine. But if you let them play on their shrine and you haven't taken their tier 1 top and you haven't warded up this area, then going onto their shrine is the most game-losing thing that you can do in the mid-game. I've seen a lot of games recently where you can get absolutely murdered in the laning stage, and then if you basically just ward up your shrine and just like sit on high ground and let the other team just feed into you like 4 or 5 times, which will happen because they have a lead and they're trying to play aggressively, then you can turn the game around super easily. So if you're behind, just ward up and play on your shrine and control this lane and this lane, and you will probably win the game. And if you're ahead, you can either fully take over their jungle and ward up their shrine and not let them access this area, or you need to just play elsewhere until you can do that. I think with a TA, it's probably better to take over their jungle and their shrine area, but it's also harder to do that. Okay, so your team is just fighting mid, you're not there, you have Supernova up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Unfortunately, you have like no setup for your Supernova. So you're gonna have to just kind of use it as best as you can. Like that, that was a good one. Alright, we're going Hood first. Oh no. So another kind of get owned fight. How does this fight go so poorly? Well, you don't have Supernova, so you probably shouldn't even be here. Your TA doesn't have BKB and is fighting into Mars Snapfire Pugna. So this probably should not even just be happening. Your Slark has Diffusal, and that's it. Clockwork has his ultimate, and Ricky has literally no items. TA doesn't even have Deso yet. Yeah, somebody needs to just be farming, at least. At least one person needs to just be farming. You guys are just taking a fight against a team that has a much better mid-game timing than you do. And way better team fight. You guys actually have no team fight. You have Phoenix Egg as a form of counter initiation to a Mars ultimate, I guess. That's like the only way that you can use your ability in a team fight, pretty much. So trying to take a team fight is just completely suicidal. I think this is one of those games where if you ever take a 5-on-5, you're throwing the game. You should probably just be split pushing until they have to like not be 5.
Radiant's middle tower.
The Hood,
Dire's bottom
I don't know how I feel about the Hood either.
Dire's structures are fortified.
You guys have a Vlad's? Nobody on your team is going Vlad's, right? And I think you desperately need like fighting auras. And I think that Hood is probably the least important out of all of them. I mean, to me, this kind of just looks like your draft is trash, and so you can't really play your hero when you don't have anyone to combo with, and you're playing into a hero that counters you with Lil Shredder, and you have no way to like initiate a team fight. Like Phoenix is amazing when somebody else can jump first. If you have to jump in and put your egg first, it's so easy to kill it, and then that's your entire contribution to the game is just dying every single time you jump in. I really feel like if you had, you know, just like Vlads and maybe picked up a Veil for yourself, or
Dire's bottom tower has
even, man, even something like a Crimson Guard might be good this game. Medallion. Let's
Radiant's
look.
middle tower is under attack.
I don't really understand what the hood is doing for you, I guess. Glimmer could be really good this game. Casual Buckler would be great. Like, I mean, they're mostly physical damage, right? They don't have a ton of magic, so I just don't really understand what this is doing. Why are we rushing a pipe, like against a Pugna? Pugna's not even the main source of their damage in fights. I don't think that a pipe is good enough to counter out Mortimer's Kisses either. Like this spell does way too much damage. You actually can't. The way to counter Mortimer's Kisses is to stun Snapfire. It's not to get a pipe. Like you actually can't pipe your way through this. I could get like a Yule's, you get like a Force, you could just get more sort of like utility support items. I really think like Glimmer is good this game. Like, why not go Glimmer? I mean, you have two other sources of Invis, I guess, so it's not great in that regard, but... Oh, and this guy even went Shadow Blade. Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know. This is one of those games where it's just kind of like... meh. I think you just kind of lose this game. Like, this is pretty much the only way you can successfully egg this game. And it works, yay! But you guys are still fighting without BKBs into a team that just has way too much magic damage and control. So, I kind of think this is majority draft loss. And also just, like, poor itemization on your whole team. Like, why is this guy going Shadow Blade when he has a Riki and a TA in the game? Alright, Shadow Trader PL. One second.
Your turn to ban.
Alright. Time to read the essay that Shadow Trader wrote. As per usual.
I now know I do not.
Playing on Starbucks Wi-Fi on a laptop while sitting next to strangers that are drinking coffee, because why not? And of course, why wouldn't you want to play why wouldn't you want to play this in ranked? Lol. I kind of just want you guys to take a look at the early to mid game. This game was a win. My TA stomped mid, stomped the rest of the game. After about 25 minutes, I just started memeing and threw myself at enemy high ground because that's how you throw games. I haven't been playing much Dota recently because I'm moving to SEA, so don't have very good replay to submit. This message wasn't long or funny enough. You added in a joke, which I will read because why not? You guys ready for this joke? Here we go. Reporter, excuse me, may I interview you? Man, yes. Reporter, name? Abdul Al-Razim. Reporter, sex. Man, 3 to 5 times a week. Reporter, no, I mean male or female. Man, yes, male, female, sometimes camel. Reporter, holy cow. Man, yes, cow, sheep, animals are great. Reporter, but isn't that hostile? Man, yes, horse style, dog style, any style. Reporter, oh dear, no dear, deer run too fast, hard to catch. Nice joke. Nice joke, Shadow Trader. Alright, so we're playing PL. We've got a Techies Rubik tri-lane with us against a Mirana Earthshaker with Magnus Anti-Mage, Invoker. Oh, there goes the Starbucks Wi-Fi. Rest in peace. So, okay, early to mid game. I mean, you just have a Techies leeching experience from you. Okay, so we send out a Mango, that's good. You definitely need a bunch of regen in this lane. If you're running a tri-lane, if you are running a tri-lane, you need to be getting kills. You cannot be losing a tri-lane in the current meta. It's not acceptable. But your Techies went Mines level 1, so he's already throwing the game. And then you have no regen, so you're also throwing the game because you need to just be... Alright, now you have a try-on-try with a Techies Rubik in your lane. And you didn't go Doppelganger, which is insanity against a tri-lane. And you feed. I mean... I don't know what to say, man. So we pick up our full wand. And we come back to the tri-lane. Which seems kind of... I don't know, I guess where else are you gonna go? You're only level 3 and you have a Weaver who doesn't really want to tri-lane either. I mean, I guess moral of the story is report this Techies, first of all. Like, why do you have a safe lane Techies support? Okay. Looks like we're gonna survive. Yeah, I mean, okay. You need to tell somebody to go bottom and pressure this anti-mage. I don't know how this Weaver solo killed this anti-mage, but that should never happen. But somebody needs to be pressuring this anti-mage, I feel like. Doing okay in CS. I think this is definitely one of those games where you just try and get out of the lane as quickly as possible. Just give it over to your Rubik or your Techies. And... man, I don't know. Yeah, I think you just... I don't even think you rush a Diffusal Blade this game. I think your job is to farm. and you have a TA to play the mid game, and this game is gonna go late no matter what. So you just go farming PL build like treads, manta style. You can get a defusal later. Heart or Abyssal Blade maybe. Abyssal seems really good this game. Scotty, Bloodthorn, Butterfly, that kind of stuff. I don't think playing like the aggressive fighting PL is super necessary this game. It's kind of bad actually because you just you don't really have team fight. In fact, you have essentially no team fight. So you just need to win by having 3 super farmed cores while the other team only has 2 super farmed cores. You know, like even if you were itemizing and kind of ahead and able to fight in like the 20-minute mark, you'd still be losing fights because you have a techies on your team. This hero just doesn't team fight. So I think I'd like to see you just literally just farming. Just farm for the entire game until you're strong enough to 1v5, which is pretty hard against a Magnus Invoker Earthshaker lineup. I mean, I could be wrong, but I guess you could go like early heart and then just become unkillable before anti-mage is online, especially if your TA is snowballing, which it looks like she is. So yeah, maybe you go just like Manta, Treads, Manta, Diffusal, Heart, and then you just try and end the game on that timing with the TA and like second Aegis or something like that. So we get our Diffusal, we're just farming, we're farming in the mid lane, farming back into our jungle, TA snowballing. Alright, here's a huge pet peeve. Huge pet peeve. I really do not like this farming pattern. When you have 2 cores pushing this lane, you could go help them take this tower if you feel like it needs to be done, or you could be pushing out the mid lane. You see the entire enemy team that's relevant to killing you, which is Rubik, Earthshaker, and Magnus, and you're farming as far away from like any sort of useful farm as possible. These creeps will be here in 20 minutes. They'll be here in 5 minutes. But these creeps right here are going away, so this gold is being wasted, and there's no pressure in the mid lane. And now you're going to the bottom lane where there are already 2 cores. And now, so you now have 3 cores in the bottom lane until TA goes mid. And you still have 2 cores in the bottom lane, sharing farm. Like, why not go play top? You've got a bunch of mines to play around. It's pretty much as safe as could be for a carry. Your teammates are fighting. Diving enemy high ground. I think they're still going well. But it does seem like your first impulse is to run away and just like run back to your side of the map. So I would really like for you to focus on, if you're winning a game and you're able to take farm in the enemy jungle, or you push a lane into the enemy side of the map, don't just immediately run back to like the safest farm on your side of the map. See if there's more that you can get out of the enemy side of the map. See if there's more camps that you can take on their side. See if there's another wave that you can push. See if there's another wave you can cut. See if you can somehow create more pressure on their side of the map instead of just like making a bit of pressure and then giving it right back to them. Because that's what happens so much when people are playing carry, is they will push a lane up and then people rotate in, or they'll start to rotate towards them, and then that carry will just like run to the safest place on the map and farm jungle camps for another like 5 minutes and then come back and push another lane. Like, if you push this lane up, for example, you push this lane up, let's say, I can't draw on the map. If you push this lane up to like here, and they start to respond, you can actually, and they start to respond from this side, you can run over here and farm this, and then you can farm this, and then you can, you know, farm this, maybe. And then maybe there's creeps down here, and you can farm this creep wave. And then these guys will be like, oh no, okay. Then we have to go over here and stop this guy. This. Ooh, thank you. Pomegranates. I love pomegranate. But the point is, don't just default to like pushing in a lane and then going back to your side of the map. You want to push in the lane to make people respond so you can actually go and do something else aggressive somewhere else, not just do something very passive. Like this. Like farming these camps is just doing nothing. It's actually doing nothing. Now we're farming towards the anti-mage, we're pressuring the anti-mage. We actually might kill the anti-mage. We do kill the anti-mage. Nice, that's good stuff. Now we kill this creep wave. And we're running away again. These runes are going to be here. Like, yes, you do need to get the bounty runes, but is anyone else on the other team going to get these bounties? No. You could still be pushing this wave. There's 2 dead. You guys could be taking this tower. You guys could maybe be poking high ground. You could be going to rush. What I'd like to see is maybe push this in. Tell your team, hey, go rush. They're going to have to respond down here. Then you go over here, you grab the bounty, you TP here, you get rush, and then you go and end the game. Alright. And then you throw the game because you go high ground without rush when you have the entire map controlled. That's just silly. That's just silly. I have a few more replays to do, so I will not be playing a pub currently. We're going to watch a Treant Protector replay, which is played by Ebert. It says he's 16-4 with Tree since last week's review. Thanks for the laning tips. Looking for more advice to get better. You got it, man. 16-4. You must be feeling real nice in terms of your MMR. Damn. Ebert has played 41 Treant Protector games this month. And he has a 68% win rate on the hero. Just only pick this hero. Just pick this hero over and over and over. And you will continue to gain MMR.
Prepare for battle. It is in the bag.
Alright, we're playing Treant 4. So, okay, this is going to be pretty difficult to do. I assume that you queued as, like, regular support. You did. Based on your draft, I really think that you should be laning top with Alchemist, because this hero is awful in lane, and Lion is also awful in lane. And so this top lane is going to get completely smashed. Like, there's actually no way that they can play this lane, because these two heroes are terrible in the laning stage, and they're terrible together. So I would say that the best move in this game is to tell your Lion to go play bottom with your Nature's Prophet, where the two of them can get kill potential on people, and you can be sort of like a frontline tank for the Alchemist. And if the Alchemist does acid spray people and you're hitting them for 92 damage while they have -4 armor, then you feel pretty good as well. I don't know if that's possible for you to do, if you can communicate with your team to say that, but that's probably what you should be doing. How is Lion bad in lane? Well, let's take a look at this hero, and trust me, I play a lot of Lion. This hero is not good in lane because you do 80 damage with Earth Spike at level 1, and you have a 50, 48, 49 attack damage. Also, you have 290 mobility, and you have 1 base armor. So you essentially cannot outtrade any hero. And in the safe lane, you're going to be playing against 2 heroes that are trying to trade against you. So essentially, if you are Lion in the safe lane, you default to basically just having to like pull and hope for the best. Punching, punching, punching. I also think that I think I'd like to see you with a Orb of Venom. That's pretty popular on this hero, especially when you're landing on something like a Zeus. Like, if this guy ever gets out of position, then you can just kill him because you have Oof and you and Nature's Prophet together. So you go Buckler first, and I actually don't like this because PA really doesn't do that much physical damage in the lane. This hero's not really trying to do damage. Like, the daggers do a little bit, but it's not that much. Zeus is your real problem, so I actually think that getting like a headrest in this lane is a lot more effective. It also combos with Treant having extra regen from Nature's guys, so it's really good for you. It's really good for Nature's Prophet. It gives you sustain against 2 heroes that are spamming constantly. Getting an early stick is also like imperative in this lane. These 2 heroes constantly use their spells, so I think if you go headrest stick, then there's pretty much no way that these guys can spam you out, and they'll actually just be giving you infinite mana to use all of your abilities on them and trade with them. But you can see right now, like, they're just spamming you out. You should have like 10 stick charges already and just use it. Use Leech Seed and your stick off cooldown pretty much. This Buckler doesn't do anything for you in this lane. So, okay, we do get our magic stick. Okay, so right there, you can see if you decide to get aggressive, you absolutely destroy them. So I kind of feel like this is one of those lanes where you're just misplaying it, like from level 1, because you're not playing aggressively enough. You should just tell your Nature's Prophet, it's like, hey, let's go on Zeus, and then you just go on Zeus, and then he has no health left. And every time Leech Seed is off of cooldown, you just say, hey, let's go on Zeus. And then you guys go on Zeus together. And he basically can't play the lane. And then you buy a stick, and then every time you go on him, he refills all of your mana because he uses lightning stuff on you. And then you say, hey, I have Leech Seed up. Let's go on Zeus again. And then you go on Zeus. Like, that's basically how this goes. Like, don't sit passively like this. This guy has no health. This is giving me anxiety. Like, you need to just go find the Zeus. Stop sitting passively in the trees. Go find the Zeus and just punch him out of the lane. Like, you should never just be sitting passively in the trees unless you're at like 5 health and you need to regen. But this hero is really just about hitting people as much as possible. So now that the lane is pushed under their tower, you can't play Treant the way you want to play the hero, so you need to pull. This needs to be pulled back so you can play the hero aggressively. But you're just spending so much time being AFK in these trees that you're almost not even in this lane, other than taking half of Nature's Prophet's experience. And I know that this lane is a little bit weird, a little different than you're probably used to playing against. But still, the general mechanics of Dota persist, and so it's just about pulling the lane back if they're stuck under tower and you're trying to play aggressive, because you can't play aggressive under tower. So you just need to enable yourself to do so. And then to that same sort of concept, you want to enable yourself to play aggressively, which means that you need to have the regen and resources available to do that. So pull lane back, spam them out, run at them. Like, PA has more CS than anybody else in this game, and that shouldn't be happening, because you should be playing way more aggressive. Like, again, you're just AFK in the trees. With your abilities up, just go on them. Be aggressive on them. Oh look, you used your skills and the Zeus is dead. Or should be. Yep. It's like, basically every time that you use your skills, you get a kill. Or almost get a kill. So you should just be using them constantly.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Again, off cooldown. Okay, now that Leshrac is here, you have to be a lot more careful. But this is 7 minutes into the game, right? Like, I feel like you and Nature's Prophet should be like level 5 at this point. There should probably be like 3 or 4 kills on the Zeus. Maybe like 5 kills on the Zeus. Because this guy, he was just in the lane and was not being threatened at all. So you need to punish people for picking bad heroes and bad matchups. And just punish people for, you know, cutting your trees down. You're the Treant Protector. So protect your fucking trees, bro. Yep, just too passive for the most part. And my guess is that this is just kind of going to snowball out of control because their PA got way more farm than they should have. You guys are not as strong as you should be, which means that you're not going to be able to like alleviate the pressure on your Alchemist, and your Alchemist is just not going to have any space, and you're going to end up just kind of getting steamrolled by a Leshrac, and a PA has more farm than she should. Yep, Leshrac just rotating around, killing the Alch, killing the Lion, nothing that they can do. If your Nature's Prophet was level 6, he could probably TP in and help. If you were level 6, you could probably TP in and help. So just, like, if you're the winning lane, if you have the ability to kill people, you need to just be abusing that. Like right here, you know, just kill them. Just kill them. Too much time spent running away, being scared. Ebert, your homework for the rest of the week is to play Treant like a madman. I want you to pretend that you are like Ogre Magi. Pretend that you're Undying. Play the hero like you're an Undying and just like be in their face all the time. I also... I think your skill build's okay, actually.
Amateur.
I think getting an early point in living armor is probably pretty value. In this lane, I would probably have gone like 2-2-1, then max Nature's Grasp, most likely. But that's sort of a minor thing. But the tree armor is really good, like, because you could potentially delay Leshrac being able to take towers, which is like half of the hero's purpose. And so if you can deny a hero its purpose to a pretty big degree by slowing down the tower push, for example, it can be a really big deal. But yeah, I think this really just looks to me like it's one of those games where you just didn't exert enough pressure as the lane that's supposed to be pressuring, and as a result, the other lanes went way better than they should have, because they weren't having to rotate in to save their PA, and your Nature's Prophet was not as farmed as he should have been, and you were not as farmed as you should have been, and so it's just a matter of like, you're the winning lane, you didn't really win the lane, and so you lost the game. It's a pretty common occurrence, I would say. All right. We have low eval playing Tidehunter in the off lane. I'm going to eat some pomegranate seeds because they're amazing. And low eval says, "What is my goal and strategy for early to mid game when my team decides to try lane the safe lane?" Okay. Playlist. You talking about the music in the background? It's just music from Dota. It's the Fat Rat music pack.
Your turn to ban.
Something that you can just get in the armory. Where is it? There. This one. This is what we're listening to. Okay. So, we are Tidehunter, and we're playing against a Disruptor Drow, Ogre, Invoker. There's a Night Stalker in the game as well. Yeah, this doesn't seem like the most fun Tide game. Doesn't seem impossible, though. I definitely think this is like, you just go super auras and make space for your Sniper and Luna. Missed the bounty in the bottom rune just because we're not there quite fast enough. Against the Ogre, so this is actually the worst thing that can happen to you as an offlaner. This is the worst thing that can happen to you, is where you do not get to access the first creep wave because you're stuck here. So you need to make the determination: is this something that I can play against, or do I need to go cut the second wave? And my guess is that you should probably just go cut the second wave because it's just easier. So you can come up here, you can determine, okay, I don't have any help, this guy's just running at me, and probably just go over here and grab this creep wave, and then just run it all the way back in front of your tower. And then suddenly you are playing as if you were the safe laner directly in front of your tower, and you're pretty happy about that. Drow has already fucked up though and is pushing the lane towards you, so that's quite nice. So at this point, I think you pretty much just wait for these creeps to come and sit in front of your tower, and then you just sit here and you make sure that this creep wave does not push into your tower, and then just gets frozen directly outside of your tower's aggro range. Hey, thank you, Atso Official. Yeah, so you should be fine actually in this lane because they just completely fucked up the lane. So you just happily sit here. Definitely do not let these creeps push into your tower, and just keep this right here. Ogre is going to go pull, I assume. That's fine. If you notice that Ogre's not there, you can play more aggressively on the Drow. Kraken Shell seems fine. Okay, and you pull the creeps back into your tower. Alright, so this is definitely something that I notice that happens, like the lower and lower you go in MMR, is that people are too scared to be aggressive. They don't recognize when's a good time to be aggressive, and that's okay. It's just sort of like a habitual thing. But right now, you should recognize that, okay, Ogre's been missing for a while. Maybe I can body this Drow off the creep wave. Like, why does this really weak ranged hero get to just stand here and last hit freely? Why can't you just run at this Drow? Why can't you force this Ogre to come back instead of pulling the lane? And the answer is because you are just playing scared. So instead of playing this super passively, like, you have 4 tangos, you've got damage block, you've got anchor smash, you should be okay even if the Ogre is hiding in the trees and goes on you because you're close to your tower. and I really think that you should probably just be playing a little bit more aggressively. This is good. We're getting a pull off. Unfortunately, Ogre is going to interrupt it, but he messes it up. Nice. Good stuff. And then you can just happily take this creep wave, and once again, potentially just... Uh-oh. That's unfortunate. I would probably just stop using my Anchor Smash at random. Oh, and pulling this under the tower is not good. You want to freeze this outside of here. Every single time, they are just giving you the opportunity to play as if you're in the safe lane, and you keep pushing the wave back into them. So instead of just pushing the wave, like, you don't need to be Anchor Smashing these. Like, nobody's contesting you. The reason that you use Anchor Smash is because people are contesting you for last hits, and you're not going to get them otherwise. If you don't have to use abilities to get last hits, don't use them. Like, if the lane is in the place where you want it to be, then keep it in this place. Deny your creeps. Tank the creeps if you have to, but keep it here. Because now the lane's in a spot where it's kind of dangerous for you to go up again. And you're just giving the drow basically a completely free lane when they are gifting you a free lane over and over and over. Again, we're pushing the wave back into them. So, you know, this kind of stuff might be fine if you had a teammate, because Tide generally wants to push the lane and then maybe dive people under tower. But if you are playing solo, you just want to get as much as you can. It's your job to basically just, like, kind of like sneakily steal resources from the other team. And sometimes that means cutting the wave. Sometimes that means doubling up the wave and then TPing home and letting a big wave push into you. But if they're just gifting you wave after wave after wave by pushing the lane when they shouldn't be, you should just be happy to just sit here and just eat up the farm. And honestly, if you do push out the wave, you can even do something like push the wave out, go stack this, and then come back to lane and wait for them to shove another lane into you. But I just kind of feel like you're sort of just like playing this entire lane in limbo the whole time, where like you're kind of just doing half. Like, you're pushing the lane, but you're only pushing it halfway, so it's just here, which means that you're just playing constantly in a place that's too far away from your tower, but is also not dangerous to them. So really, you know, just, I know I'm repeating myself, but just take what they're giving you instead of like giving it back to them. You really just don't need to be using Anchor Smash. Like, just get some last hits the old-fashioned way. Just hit him. Kind of AFKing here. Okay, another thing. I know you just died to them, so you probably don't want to play aggressively. You do have a bit of a creep wave advantage. But instead of just sitting here AFK in the trees, you know, shove this wave. If you're gonna shove the wave and then go pull. But you can't expect to get this pull when they're just standing right next to the pull camp. So again, just commit to one strategy, and I think the best strategy is just to literally just sit here and let them continue to fuck the lane up over and over and over, and then you get a bunch of farm. All right. As far as the early to mid game portion, I think now you say, all right, team, I have Ravage. Let's try and maybe take this fight down bottom. And you ask for a rotation. Okay, you have support Luna. That's why. I see. Or you just continue to kind of happily farm and look for an opportunity to maybe counter-initiate with a Ravage somewhere else. Going for Vlad's is fine. I think that probably you want boots 7 minutes into the game against heroes with slows. You probably should have boots at this point. If we look at their lineup, you probably want to go for just like Vlad's Pipe. And I kind of like the idea of Guardian Greaves, actually, in this game. Greaves seems pretty good. And yeah, you just play as a frontliner with a bunch of auras. Also, bro, you're letting this tiny Drow Ranger beat you up. You're level 7. He's level 6. He has 8 armor. You have 9 armor. You also hit for quite a bit with Anchor Smash. You have Ravage up. You have Gush. You should say, hey, somebody TP right now. I'm going on this Drow. And then you go Gush him. Just go Gush him. I think this is one of the scenarios where it's like, you can get away by running away, maybe. Or you could literally just turn and fight him and force him away with your damage. Like, turn around, Gush him, run at him, Anchor Smash him. If he fights you, you Ravage him and kill him. And if he runs away, then you get away and nothing happens. But in this case, you actually lose all of your health. And now you're just standing here bringing out 2 salves. And then just kind of like sitting in this lane. Honestly, I think this is one of those games where you're just not being active enough. You've got this Void Spirit. You're kind of just in this lane where you don't really want to be, and they keep pushing the lane in. You could easily just say, hey, Luna, come get level 6. Just come sit bottom. They're shoving free farm into you constantly. And then you just go somewhere else and make something happen. Because you have 2 very underleveled supports that would love to have a lane to play in. And this lane is not good for you. You're kind of just like... Yeah, I thought that was going to happen. This is just a lane where you're just kind of like not doing anything. Like, you're not feeding really. The tower's not dying, but do you really need to be the one doing this? I think the Luna could probably do this just as well. And using your first Ravage defensively there when you have a Night Stalker who's probably going to be trying to dive your sniper is no bueno. So yeah, just play more actively. Like, accept the gift of a free lane and then play more actively with your with the farm that you have been gifted. Try to connect with your team. Anytime you have some like super big ultimate like Ravage or Black Hole or Chronosphere, you need to try and connect with your team when it's up, because you're just sitting there with this amazing spell getting 0 value out of it. And now you're rushing a team fight item, and if you continue to just sit in this bottom lane with a team fight item, no boots, and Ravage, then I would say this game is like entirely your fault that you lost.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower.
Like, we're basically just sitting around waiting for something to happen. We go back here. Alright, we shove out this wave. And then for the next full minute, we basically just stand around. Like, you can go farm jungle. If the lane's bad, you can just go farm jungle, and every time they push the lane up, you can come farm here, and then you can go farm jungle again, then you can come back and farm here. But, I mean, dude, your Luna's like level 6 at 14 minutes because Luna had nowhere to go. And you could have given Luna somewhere to go by leaving the lane and getting active with your amazing team fight spell. Just too passive. Too passive. Alright, party. Party is up. Party says... What does party say? Unranked. You don't need to watch this. It's just for fun. I want to prove that Bounty Hunter 5 isn't garbage. Feel free to watch and coach, but you don't need to. I'll try BH5 and ranked soon when I figure out the best build. I think 1-2-0 into 7-2-0 is the best. Well, if you can figure out how to put 7 points into Shuriken Toss, then it might very well be the best, because that would be pretty impressive. Also, hi party. Welcome to the stream, sir. Also started the wrong replay. Here we go. So, trust me, I love Bounty Hunter. I have played a lot of games on this hero. I have tried it as a 5. I think I have like a 60% win rate on this or something, 55. I love this hero. I play this a lot. I've tried it as a 5. And it's just like I understand what you're trying to do. You kind of have to play it as if it's like a treant. Like that's kind of what you're trying to play it as, is just out trade people, right? With your Janata. Because you don't heal your teammates, you don't have a stun to set them up. So you're just trying to out trade people, I guess, with your high armor and your pretty high damage. But it's just not good. It's just not good. But we'll watch and see what you do.
It's in the bag.
I think we can agree that this one is in
Prepare for
the bag.
battle.
But I would call this borderline griefing, if I'm being honest. What hero can I spam if I have a lot of APM?
Very
I don't know. Arc Warden, I guess?
The world will hardly notice.
Maybe start with Arc Warden or Beastmaster?
30 seconds to battle.
I assume you're saying that you're good at micro?
This one is in the bag.
The battle begins.
Alright, so right away, we have a lane with a support that has no stun against a lane that has 2 stuns. I see this going quite terribly.
Now, nobody wins.
Alright, so we got our sentry down. We hit the Sand King. We wait for 10 seconds for Janata to be up. Oh wait, we don't actually wait. We just take a bunch of damage, not trading well. We hit the Sand King again. He doesn't know what a sentry is, apparently. I guess he wasn't joking. He doesn't know what a sentry is. Okay, he's trolling. I'm being trolled currently. Alright, we get our pull off. Or half pull, whatever. We go hit the Earthshaker. Hooray! Oh, we get stunned. And lose that trade. Unfortunate. Okay, we're gonna go back over here. We try to get this pull. Looks like we're gonna get another one. Nice, good stuff. I feel like this could probably be any hero. Doesn't have to be Bounty Hunter. Tiny getting owned. We don't have any way to help because we have no stuns and no saves. So now Tiny's having a shit lane. We're out of regen. Tiny also out of regen. Sand King or a Shaker, happy as a clam. So far, 0 impact from the Bounty Hunter support. We bring out a Ring of Regen instead of more sentries and regen for our Tiny. I'm being pretty flamey, but I'm really not seeing a whole lot here that I like. If I was this core, I'd be pretty pissed that I have a Bounty Hunter support in my lane who's just taking my experience. Like, don't get me wrong. Again, I understand the theory. Okay, You're a 5 that can provide vision. You can get deep wards down. You generate gold for free with track. The hero is not really that great as like a frontline damage dealer anyway, so you're kind of just like taking advantage of the fact that you can provide vision and be sneaky. You generate gold with Janata, which means it's easier to, you know, continue to have gold for wards and that kind of stuff. But your laning stage is just so bad. Like, if you're trying to play in the pressured lane as this hero, you don't do anything. You just don't do anything. Also, you need to go pull right now. At the very least, do the basic 5 stuff and pull the lane back so your Tiny can play Dota. Hey, there we go. Get our pull. Gonna go for the pull through. Looks like we're gonna time it correctly. Nice. We have a salve. Alright, where's this going, party? How is this? How are you going to have support impact in this game? Alright, we TP top. Hey, look, we have no stuns. Oh, we hit somebody. We Janata'd them for 85 damage. Oh, they're coming back in because they shrined. Sure wish we had a stun. Oh, we're hitting somebody again. Yay, we got a kill. Nice. We also lost our other hero. Oh, are we going to get another kill? Oh, looks like Dazzle's probably dead now. So here's the other way that I could potentially see this being a thing, is if you have a safe laner like a Lone Druid, like a Huskar, like a Venomancer, you know, one of these heroes that just doesn't need very much help. Maybe you help them through the first 2 or 3 levels, and then you just become a roamer, and you just roam as the 5. I think that is, like, maybe okay. But even then, you'd still need to pair it with the right hero. I just don't think Bounty Hunter is that good of a hero at the moment, first of all. But, like, I could see that maybe being viable. If you had, like, a Razor or Ursa, something like that, that might be pretty good. And then you had, like, a Tinker mid. Then you could maybe run a Bounty 5 and then just go gank for your mid laner over and over. But not having boots at 9 minutes on a Bounty Hunter is super unacceptable. Like, your entire purpose is to run around and find people and be really hard to catch, so you need your movement speed. You're being a good opportunistic Bounty Hunter, securing kills with your shuriken, but without movement speed, you just are so much less effective than you should be on this hero. Tracking people up. Tracking people up. What item build did you go for, out of curiosity? Mech Yules. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Tranquil's Mech Yules. I just don't see any synergy there at all. Since you're here in chat, what's your theory? Like, what do you think your job is in this game? Are you trying to just like find the Sand King and the Earthshaker every fight so that they can't counter initiate with their big spells and blink daggers? Are you trying to just assassinate the CM Are you trying to control the Ursa and kite the Ursa? Are you trying to somehow wave clear the Phantom Lancer? Like, what are you doing to counter them on your hero? Because it needs to be something. You can't just, like, be this hero and then have no impact.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Be backline at fight and be annoying. Ugh, it's just not good enough. It's not really... Like, the reason that Bounty Hunter is a good hero, in theory, is that you can just kill their backlines by coming at them after the fight started. You come in from behind, and then you, like, two-shot their support with Janata. Or you keep vision on Invis heroes, or you keep vision on people that are in the trees, or you disrupt blink daggers, or you have the ability to just, like, straight up kill people instantly. Just being annoying is basically like just saying, hey guys, enjoy playing a 4v5 game. I'm just gonna be doing my own thing over here. Good luck. You know, it just like doesn't really seem like accomplishing very much.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you gotta like pick at least one of their heroes and just counter it hardcore. Like, I don't know, build a halberd so Ursa can't do anything. Build a Deso and kill the CM. Or build a bunch of auras. But the whole like Yule's mech this shit is like, what? What? Alright. I will take 2 chat replays and then I gotta go. So throw those replays in chat. Anybody? Nobody wants to do a replay? Alright. Best supports for the current meta. Well, seeing as there's no replays being posted in chat, I'm going to call the replay stream now. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I'm going to go work on my tier list video so you guys can get the support tier list. Alright, I'll do this one from White Ava Frost. Who are you playing? What hero am I looking at? Alright. Gyro has actually given me a hero to look at, so I will look at this one. Vengeful Spirit. And it's a loss. Thank you. Gyro Straga, you're my hero. I don't understand Venge her laning stage is bad. I would disagree. It depends on the matchup, but I would say that her laning stage is not actually bad at all. I think this is potentially the best 5 in the game. One of the best 5s.
Your team prepare for battle.
I think we can agree that this
Alright,
one is
Vengeful Spirit.
the
We got Avenge Jug Lane. Starting items look pretty good. I actually don't like the double salve. I've been going for a bunch more mangoes and then just spamming, depending on the lane that I'm in, either spamming stun or spamming Wave of Terror. Sometimes both. I don't think that you need to come to lane with 2 salves. I think you can send out more if you need them. Hold up. Okay, 6 tangos. No Quelling Blade, Jug. No Quelling Blade. Uh-oh. Okay, so here's the deal. You went for Magic Missile first, which means that you need to combo this with your Juggernaut to get the most effective value out of it. So you need to be the one that makes the call and says, hey, go on Axe right now. And then you need to Missile and spin on them. But trading with a Shadow Shaman, you cannot outright click the Shadow Shaman, as you can see. You both have essentially the same attack range, so trading with the Shaman is just, you can't do it unless you Wave of Terror. Or if you have a bunch of mangoes, you could just Magic Missile, hit the Shaman a couple of times, and then walk away. And that's how you take those trades. But you definitely don't just like right click the Shaman, because the Shaman wins right click. So I'm seeing a whole lot of just kind of like standing around. Seeing a lot of just kind of, all right, at least now we're right clicking the Axe a bit. Unfortunately, Axe is kind of difficult to harass out of lane because he has a high base regen. What is it? Base regen 5. He's almost 6 base regen, which is like nearly impossible to harass out of lane. So I think that your focus should be on this guy. You should just tell your Juggernaut, hey, if Shaman comes up, I'm going to Magic Missile him. You should spin on him. And then you just do that until Shadow Shaman is out of regen and has to leave the lane. Because this hero is very slow, and he's kind of the one that's enabling this Axe to play how he wants to play. Because the Shaman is able to outright click both you and the Juggernaut, both for denies and just for trades. So try and kill the Shaman. Like, this guy should die. He should have died right there. Okay, at least this guy does have spin. Using a salve. To me, this looks like one of those lanes that's just going to get more and more difficult the longer that it goes. And you have the ability to, like, yeah, do stuff like this, like punish them. Take good trades like this, and suddenly the lane is trending into your favor. So now that this lane is pushing, instead of coming to trade, you need to be going over here and preparing to pull. Not pulling the lane back here is pretty lane losing, because now they can play aggressively on you. You shouldn't even be here. The lane should be pulled back. They should have to continue to try and play under your tower so that you can make aggressive moves like you just did. You know, it's way, way harder to kill people if they're here, and you have to do something like stun and spin onto them, and they can run into their tower. But if they're up here and you stun and spin onto them, they have to run so far to get back into their safety of their tower. So yeah, they're just out trading you because you're not taking aggressive enough plays early on, and now they do more damage than you, and their heroes are just getting stronger than yours are faster. This hero is actually nuts. Like, you do a lot of damage with Wave of Terror and Magic Missile. You can take very good trades if you're doing them selectively. If you, like, kind of come in, throw your spells, hit them a few times, go out. Come in, throw your spells, hit them a few times, go out. Like this, you know? Now, if only you had come back to lane with another salve, a couple more mangoes, then you could immediately be back at full health and then do this again. Like, they don't have any regen left, so you can just bully them. Like, you could have probably killed that guy if you stunned him. And then we probably should be trying to pull yet again. Pull here, maybe. So you get the pull. The only problem is that this is now 7 minutes into the game that the first pull is happening, and that's just not enough. Like, you should be pulling basically as soon as you can every single lane. Just because it just makes the lane impossible for the other team to play the way that they want to play. They have to come deal with this. They have to split their resources between pressuring the jug and dealing with you, pulling the creeps. You're getting experience and gold from over here. They are missing experience from having to go over and contest this shitty experience over here. And the creeps are dying over here because Jug's, you know, denying them. And so it's really just pull. That's what it comes down to. Pull, stack, and then I think in this game, in this game, I think I would prefer if you just went max aura. You have so much minus armor already with Slardar. I don't know if you need Wave of Terror on top of that. Like 1 or 2 points in Wave of Terror for the laning stage, sure. But then having a bunch of bonus attribute for your strength heroes and for your Juggernaut is like super good. So I would say maybe don't go 1-3-1 in this game and get more points in aura. Now Jug goes bottom. You guys kill Axe top and get the outpost. Cool. Shoving out the lane. And then, let's see, you should probably, okay, this guy going Vlad's? I don't know what's going on. This hero, your hero basically just builds auras. Like, that's what you do. You build Vlad's, you build Helm of Dominator, you build Pipe, you build Crimson Guard, Glimmer Cape. I actually haven't been going for bracers anymore. Like, I think they're fine, but I think you're kind of tanky enough without them, and your team just benefits so much more from you having auras. Even just like a headdress, a casual headdress or a buckler, because like right now, even when you're dead, you're still giving those auras to people. And then yeah, in this game, essentially your only purpose is to just wait until Axe, Blink, Blade Mail calls your Juggernaut, and then you swap them out, and then you win the fight. That's pretty much all you have to do. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Good luck in your games. I'm going to go finish up this support tier list, and it'll be out a little bit later tonight. We will see you next time, and Jenkins should be back for that one. So, good luck. See you later.